Hey guys, this is Christopher Durham with Fathom Realty. I'm so glad you guys are here at this page. My intentions here, guys, is simply to guide you through the home buying process, right? The home buying process could be a little bit scary. It could be a little bit confusing. There's a lot to go into it. You know, what's awesome is that with the right person behind your back, you having the right information, honestly, a lot of the fear dissipates, a lot of the confusion. And so my intention here with this page and with this video is kind of to give you the outline and kind of answer any questions that you guys might have, especially as first-time home buyers, or even if you've already had a home, but maybe it's been a few years, you wanted to sell yours, or you're looking to buy another house and you kind of want to see the difference between a primary residence and a vacation home. So there's a few things that we have to get into, and I'm just gonna jump right into. I like to go right into it because at the end of the day, you don't need to hear me talking about a bunch of nonsense, right? You want to hear the information, what's gonna help you, what's gonna help you with your decisions, and that way you just know what's gonna go on when you decide to buy a house, and so you're not confused and you're kind of prepared because preparation takes away fear. When you know what's going to happen, you can prepare for it and you just feel so much more at ease. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to make a decision. Honestly, the number one thing, right? Number one, I don't know how to put the little numbers up here and stuff like that, but number one is you want to go ahead and make a decision. You want to make a decision if you're gonna buy. So, if you're single, if you're married, you're gonna have to talk to your spouse or to your significant other, and make that decision. You're gonna make a decision. Hey, we want to buy a house. Because that's how you cannot buy a house just by guessing. It's got to be an intentional thing, and then you have to prepare. Preparation is key. Um, you know, and preparation can be a little bit different for everyone depending on your income, how much you already have saved. Now you've been thinking, it's like, been thinking, hey, I'm gonna buy a house eventually. So you've been putting money away for years, right? Now, if you just started, you want to know what you need to go ahead and close on a home and what you need to actually buy a home with. So the first thing, when you get close to this time, one of the first things you want to do, I should say, is getting your pre-approval. You want to know what price range you could actually buy a house at, right? So a lot of people, especially for some home buyers, they start sending me homes. I'm like, well, have you been pre-approved yet? And most of them say, oh no, I didn't think we had to do that until we were closer. I was like, well, you want to know exactly what house you can afford, how much money can you afford, and and a lender can give you a pre-approval, fairly quickly, usually within a day, usually within 20, 30 minutes if you have all your information ready. And I'll tell you all the information you need probably in a different video. Like I said, if you have any questions throughout the thing, leave a comment down there and I'll be sure to go ahead and answer it for you. So preparation, definitely want to get the pre-approval. Now, the biggest thing with pre-approval is understand what I would do. Just because you are pre-approved for a $400,000 house does not mean you should buy a $400,000 house. The banks obviously want you to get the biggest loan so they can make the most money, and and so budget yourself. I see a lot of first home buyers. They get pre-approved for $400,000, and that's where they go. Like, oh, I can get a $400,000 house. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna live in a mansion. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But they don't take into their other expenses. Putting savings in for an emergency fund. If you have the finances to do that, awesome. Go ahead and doing it. Go ahead and do that. That would be awesome. And so getting the pre-approval. Now, next thing is really preparing for the cost of buying a house. All right, because a lot of people know about down payment. Down payment is a pretty basic thing. Most people say, oh yeah, it's a down payment 5%, 10%, 20% down. Oh yeah, we're safe for that. But what they fail to realize too sometimes, especially for first time home, you just don't know what you don't know until you know it. Is that there are closing costs, right? You have to have some prepaid taxes. You have to pay for insurance. There's title fees, and I'll get into what all these things are in a separate video because I don't want to make this too long. I just want to give you a basic outline, but know the cost of buying a home. So listen, for a first-time home buyer, you could easily get a loan for 3% down. Doesn't mean you should. You might want to put more into it. I'm not here to make decisions. Kind of telling you what the possibilities are. So 3% down is the minimum you're probably going to be putting down. 3 to 3.5% down. Right, but then closing costs could be anywhere from 1.5 to 3% of the total cost of the house. Right, you have your mortgage fees, you have taxes you have to pay. On top of all that, you have title fees, you have to get homeowners insurance, and usually you pay 1 year up front. on that. So all these things add to the cost. So if you think you're gonna go ahead and put $10,000 down for a 3% down payment, that's what you need for a 3% down payment on your house. I will go ahead and have an additional $7,000 to $10,000 ready for closing costs. It is just how it is, right? So just want to make sure you are prepared. So if you could save between 5 to 6% to go and get the house, that will probably be the best bet for you. And always have some money for emergencies, right? You don't want to get into a house and not have anything left over. All right, so there we go. So we already talked about down payment and closing costs. So those are the two things that are going to come in out of pocket when you actually close on your house. Now there's different ways to tie those into the mortgage. I'll get into that to another video. If you want to learn how to tie in closing costs into your mortgage, leave a comment, like the video, and I'll make sure I'll get that into one of my next videos. And I'll explain to you how that could actually work. And so after you guys get pre-approved, obviously if you don't have a realtor ready, you want to find a realtor. Realtors are doing this, you know, their wealth of knowledge is incredible. You know, people don't buy, you know, the average person does not buy 10, 11, 12 homes. On average, a person is buying a house maybe 1, 2, 3 times in their lifetime. So they're not going to be pros at buying houses. Things change, rules change, laws change, interest rates change, so many things change. The only thing constant is a realtor. A realtor is going to be keeping up because they're constantly buying and selling people's houses. So they know the changes, they know what things are going to cost, and they can really guide you in the right direction. You know, find a good realtor. You know, if you don't have a realtor, I'm here. But find a good realtor, someone that you feel comfortable with, someone that you know is going to take care of you. All right, so once you get pre-approved and you have your realtor, it is the home buying process. This is where the fun stuff starts, right? It's finding your home. And now decide what you want. Who knows what you want? I don't know what you want. Only you know what you want. I could try to guide you and let you know and send you properties of what you're looking for. But are you looking for a forever home? You know, do you have a big family? You're looking to grow your family. What is your budget? Is this, you know, you want to be here for the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? You feel, hey, listen, I think I could be at this house for the rest of my life. I love this area. I'm in South Florida, so I love South Florida, and this is it. I'm comfortable here, right? Life changes, things will change in the future, but find out what you want in a house. So, you know, do you want 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom? Do you have kids? Do they share a room? They're going to get bigger. Think about that. And so think of that location, right? Once you get what you want, what type of house? You want a townhouse? You want a condo? Do you want a single family? What I've learned, they're all great. It all depends on what you like. So the next thing is you find a house that you like. You put in an offer. Now, that we could get into a whole thing with how the market is, but I'm not here to tell you how the market is right now, just simply to give you the guidelines. All right, so you put in an offer on a home. So you find a house that you like, you tell your realtor, hey, this is the house I want to put an offer in. Let's go ahead and put an offer for this price. Boom. Your realtor is going to write up a good contract to make sure that you're protected, make sure your investments is protected, and make sure there's no liabilities. All right, and then once the offer is accepted, if it's accepted, you begin the loan application. Usually you have 5 days to start the loan application with any lender of your choosing, you know. And then, you know, if you're an HOA, you're gonna have to do an application for HOA. Now the next steps are, once your contract has been accepted, the next thing is what you're gonna have to do is go ahead and schedule a home inspection. Now your realtor should have a list of home inspectors they use. Usually they have a preferred one. I use Guardian Angels. They're great. They give me the report the same day they go out. Very detailed, very easy to read. So home inspection, termite inspection, especially in Florida, definitely should get a termite, you know, wood destroying organism inspection. Make sure there's nothing eating at your house. If you're getting an FHA loan, you're going to need to do this one anyway for the banks actually even giving you a loan. And after you do that, you get to look at the inspection. Usually on the contract, you do have a set period of time to look at the inspection, to inspect the house, and renegotiate or back out of the deal. All right. So something I forgot to mention, you also do have earnest money deposit. So that's kind of like a deposit you put on the house. It goes to a third-party company called the title company or closing agent, and they're like the referee of the transaction. They make sure everyone's playing fair. They make sure no one's holding on money and try to steal your money. Or as a buyer, you want to put a deposit. It kind of shows interest in the property, saying, "Hey, I want this. I'm gonna go ahead and put $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 into the title, into this holding company, closing agent, right into escrow." And basically they're saying, hey, this 5,000, is kind of if anything happens. I'm gonna edit that out. If anything happens. Anyway, so after the home inspection, you can renegotiate. So if there's any issues with the house, anything you don't like, say the roof is completely damaged, it's leaking, you didn't see that when we walked in the house for whatever reason, but the inspector found out. Now you can renegotiate. You can say, hey, listen, I want you to either replace or go ahead and give me the funds needed to replace this roof after I close. And they could do that through giving you a credit at closing or just dropping the sales price of the home. The other thing you do is go ahead and walk away from purchasing the house, where you would get your earnest money deposit. You would get that money that you deposited back into your account, right? As long as you do this within the 7 to 10 days, or whatever days you negotiate. Everything's negotiable on a contract through real estate. Remember, everything is a negotiation. You will be able to get that earnest money deposit back, so you don't lose out on anything. Now, the next thing is the appraisal. Now, the appraisal is something that the bank is going to go ahead and schedule for you. Basically, what the appraisal does is they determine the value of the house, because a bank will not lend you money on a house they don't see the value in lending you the money for. So say you want to buy the house, and the house is $260,000. That's the offer that you put in. Then the appraisal comes back in. It says the value is only $250,000. Well, the bank's gonna look at this like, well, why are we gonna lend you $260,000 when it's only worth $250,000? Now we have an extra $10,000 out there, and if you do not pay us our mortgage and we try to sell this house, we're out $10,000 because no one's gonna pay over market value for the house. So that's what the appraisal is. And what's good, there's also an appraisal contingency, which protects you. Like I said, you want to have a good realtor that's gonna know all these things. If they can't elaborate and explain to you all the things that they can do to protect your investment, to protect your escrow deposit, your earnest money deposit, don't work with them. Work with someone who actually knows, right? Because I've been in disputes with escrow and all this other stuff, and it could get dicey. It's not very common, but it could get dicey, especially dealing with some sellers. So you always want to make sure you dot your I's, cross your T's, make sure that the contract is solid. And a good realtor will make sure that your contract is solid and make sure you have the most protection for your investment. Now, once that is done, it's basically going through getting, your home insurance. You want to get a good home insurance. I know a lot of people will try to nickel and dime, find the cheapest in home insurance they can find. But guess what? Things happen in a house. You don't have to go with the most expensive, but sometimes going with the cheapest is not the best option. Your realtor, your lender usually has people they work with, but if you know someone or you're comfortable working someone, these things are up to you. Like I said, a realtor doesn't make the decisions for you. All we can do is actually guide you. Also, now once you go ahead and do all that stuff, is basically waiting for the lender to go ahead and close on your property. You're good at clear to close. And once that closing date, whatever we scheduled, whatever was on the contract, closes, and you get that clear to close from the lender, the next thing you do is move into your house. That is it. I mean, it's very basic. Like I said, this is a very basic outline, guys. Like I said, I didn't want to get too in-depth into it. I didn't want to get too confusing. Like I said, I just wanted to get you the information that you needed to what you need to think about. All right, so what I'm going to try to do within the next week or so, I'm going to go ahead and whatever you guys leave a comment for, whatever you feel like you need more information on, I'm going to see which information people are looking for more of. If it's financial questions, guys, I would definitely reach out to a lender. I'm going to try to get a lender on here so he can explain more in depth what they're going to be looking for, how it works. And I know a lot about it, but guess what? A lender could always go more into detail. This is what they do. When it comes to the market and the houses, that's what I'm here for. So guys, hey, God bless. Please leave a comment, like the video. And if there's anything I can do for you, I'm here in Palm Beach, Florida. Give me a call. Christopher Durham, Fathom Realty. And I hope this was just a blessing to you. I hope you guys are able to pick a few things out of here. I don't expect you to remember everything, but I hope you could always go back to this and simply use it as a reference. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Looking forward to meeting with some of you, talking to some of you, and answering your questions. Have a great day.